video is for informational and educational purposes only, based on personal experience and general research. It is not a substitute for professional medical, psychological, or psychiatric advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Were you the kid who could hyperfocus on a video game for 6 hours but couldn't sit through a 10-minute chore? Maybe that just looked like laziness. Or maybe it was never that at all. Today I'm breaking down 10 signs of adult ADHD that don't look like the can't sit still stereotype from childhood. Let's dive in. You're not hyperactive. You're wired but tired. Adult ADHD rarely looks like bouncing off the walls. It looks like lying in bed at midnight, brain sprinting through 6 different topics while your body is completely exhausted. You want to sleep. Your brain has other plans. I used to think this was just what having a lot on your mind felt like. Turns out most people's minds actually quiet down at night. Mine treats midnight like prime time. That mismatch, exhausted body, racing mind, is one of the most common adult presentations. And almost nobody flags it as ADHD because there's no visible fidgeting involved. You're not climbing the walls. You're just wide awake behind your own eyes. Time doesn't work the way it's supposed to for you. There's now, and there's not now. That's it. That's the whole system. A deadline 3 weeks away might as well not exist until the night before, when it suddenly becomes the only thing that exists. I had a student like this, brilliant kid, could write a beautiful essay overnight, but ask her about a project, due in a month, and she'd genuinely tell you she hadn't started thinking about it yet, because in her head, a month away wasn't real time. This isn't procrastination in the lazy sense. It's called time blindness, and it's a real executive function difference, not a character flaw. You start 10 things and finish 2. The junk drawer of hobbies. 3 half-read books on the nightstand. A knitting project from 2019. A course you paid for and never opened past module 1. The starting is thrilling, new interest, dopamine spike, full commitment energy. I've bought entire art supply kits, used them once, gloriously, and then never touched them again. Not because I stopped caring. Somehow, the middle is where it falls apart. Because the initial excitement fades and the task becomes, well, a task. Your emotions feel like they're in all caps. Small frustrations hit like massive ones. A rude comment from a stranger can wreck your whole afternoon. A typo in a text can spiral into why did I even send that? This is called emotional dysregulation, and it's one of the most under-discussed parts of adult ADHD because it doesn't fit the distracted kid image at all. It's not that you're overreacting. It's that your brain doesn't have the built-in volume control most people get by default. Everything just comes in louder. You're the forgetful but brilliant one. You can recall a random fact from a podcast you half listened to 3 years ago, but you cannot remember why you walked into the kitchen. I can quote entire scenes from shows I watched once a decade ago and still forget, mid-sentence, what I was just about to say. Working memory in ADHD is inconsistent, not absent. It holds on to what's interesting and drops what's routine, which is exactly backwards from how life expects memory to work. Small tasks feel disproportionately hard. Making a phone call, replying to one email, loading the dishwasher. None of these are hard, and yet they can sit there for days, radiating quiet dread, while you do something genuinely harder instead, just because it's more interesting. I will reorganize an entire filing system before I make one dreaded phone call. This is task paralysis, and it has nothing to do with the actual difficulty of the task. You've been called too much or not enough your whole life. Too talkative, too intense, too sensitive, or not motivated enough, not consistent enough, not trying hard enough. Sometimes both, from the same person in the same week. Both extremes usually point at the same thing underneath. A brain running on a different operating system than the one everyone's grading you against. You mask so well that people don't believe you struggle. Color-coded planners. 15 alarms. A system for the system. From the outside, it looks like you have it together better than anyone. What people don't see is the 3 backup alarms behind the alarm, and the mild panic underneath all of it. High-masking adult ADHD often looks like being so organized on the outside while the inside is a constant exhausting scramble to hold it all together. The planner isn't proof you're fine. It's proof of how much effort it takes to look fine. You interrupt, but not because you don't care. You've probably worried you're being rude. Replayed conversations later wondering if people think you're self-centered. In ADHD, it's usually the opposite. The thought feels urgent, like it'll vanish if you don't say it right now, and often it does vanish completely the second someone else starts talking. It's not a lack of respect. It's a working memory system that doesn't reliably hold on to a thought while waiting a polite turn. And the last one, even professionals still debate this one. Adult ADHD in women, and AFAB folks especially often, shows up as internal restlessness rather than external hyperactivity, racing thoughts, restless legs at night, an inability to relax even during downtime, guilt over sitting still. It's still routinely mistaken for anxiety alone, treated with anxiety tools that only half work, which means the ADHD underneath can go unrecognized for years, sometimes decades. Anxiety and ADHD can absolutely overlap, but they're not always the same thing wearing a different name. If even a few of these hit home, that's worth paying attention to. This isn't about self-diagnosing your whole identity off one video. It's about noticing a pattern that maybe explains a lot of things you chalked up to being lazy, dramatic, or just bad at adulting. You're not broken. Your brain just runs differently. And once you understand the operating system, everything gets a little easier to work with. Drop a comment if any of these hit close to home. And stick around. I'll be covering how ADHD and autism overlap in a future video.